I'd like to get a plan of small, something smaller than that, but two bedrooms is what I'd like.
Two bedrooms is manageable.
Yep.
But I tell you what, even like those tiny houses, they're getting $800 to $1,000 a week just for one of those. They get as much for those as I would for I'm gonna for my 3-bed house.
I think that might dry up all of a sudden at some point too.
How long was it out there?
7 days.
Oh, really?
Yes. Nice.
Where were you?
California.
What part?
7.
Oh,
Pasadena?
Glendale.
I was talking to David down the dock, and they went for 3 nights down to Florida real quick. This was a record-breaking temperature, it was 90s in the last few days. He said it was hot.
October is my favorite month. And I'm always annoyed when I have to leave.
Yeah.
Rather be here than anywhere else.
California's pretty much 70 year round. It doesn't, Southern California doesn't vary that much.
I don't know. It's like 105 in July.
Well, that's inland a little bit.
Long
too,
up
though.
for the-
That's right,
yeah.
especially over in San Diego
Yeah.
area. Dana Point.
All right, I've got 5:00. Call the meeting to order today, Monday, October 21st, 2019. Roll call, Selectmen Howdy Goodwin, Mike Mansalilli, Mackenzie Jewett, Kevin Buck, myself, Jamie Thurlow, Town Manager Chris Saunders, and soon the Town Clerk Katie Danduran, press, and members of the public. All right, adoption of agenda. Does anybody have any changes they'd like to make to the agenda? Approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of October 7, 2019.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from Monday, October 7th, 2019. Any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll abstain.
Approval of warrants. We have warrant 36 for $5,194. Warrant 37, $4,707.63. 38 for $9,493.66. 39 for $121,727.01. Warrant 40, $2,789.60.
Make a motion to approve warrants 36 through 40.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve warrants 36 through 40. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, financial reports. Chris, that is you.
It is. All right, so these reports are as of September 30th, which is 25% of the way through the fiscal year. Some highlights from the memo that I wrote. I have the total sales from the surplus property sale that we conducted over the summer. Total revenues were $11,273. So that's a nice chunk of change to receive that we did not budget for. And we also got rid of some things that were sitting around that we weren't getting any use out of. Also, this report does show the revenue of $2,000 from the town of Frenchboro for their use of the ferry terminal floats. First time we've received that donation since 2010, so I was pleased to write them that thank you note. Finally, in the Seal Cove Fund, we have a new dealer who's working down there, and so he took out a permit for $2,500. So that really helps out that fund balance. It took that hit last year, and so every little bit counts there, and that really puts it into a good place for the rest of the year. It's too early to say what it'll be at the end of the year, but we're moving in the right direction. On the expenses side, not too much exciting going on. I did make a note in the war fund. So far, we spent $5,243 in engineering costs. We'll have obviously a few more of those related to the reconstruction. But well, we'll see when the bids come back from the bidders, what the overall budget we're looking at is. I'm optimistic that it'll be under what we expected, but you never know until the bids come back. And then under general ledger, I'd also wanted to highlight the municipal revenue sharing revenue so far this year. So based on previous years, I estimated that we would receive $38,575. We have already received $15,920. So that's 41% of what I expected for the year, even though we're only 25% of the way through the year. The state adopted a budget this year which funds municipal revenue sharing at 2.5% of state revenues, which is 0.5% higher than was in previous years. It still is not up to the statutory requirement of 5%, but obviously it's 0.5% makes a big difference when we're talking about numbers this big. And so I appreciate the state passing this budget, and it is having an immediate direct impact on Tremont. That's all I got.
Cool. Thank you, Chris.
Did the surplus equipment sale include the other culverts?
No, it does not include the culverts. Those are not sold yet. I did
Okay.
reach an agreement with the bidder of $100 for 20 linear feet for those culverts, and now he has to actually show up and pay for them and remove them.
You got $100 for 20 feet of culvert.
Good deal.
We drive a hard bargain here in Tremont.
Good job, Chris. You need a motion on
I
that.
would like one.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the July through September 2019 financial reports.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the July through September 2019 financial reports. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, regular business. We have some stuff for the library, the bid request for the bookshelves. I'll let you speak, Mike, about
Basically, we had allocated $33,000 for casework. Casework is not just bookshelves, it's circulation desk and some computer desks and things like that. But the bulk of it, we assumed would be for the actual bookcases. We went to 3 local builders who all just waved us off. Cabinet makers, they go, I'm too busy. Almost not surprising. We checked on the cooperative we joined 2 years ago, which is run by the state of Massachusetts, which gives discounts to schools and libraries. They were crazy expensive. So we ended up looking at a couple of online suppliers for this, as well as having a recommendation from the Somerville Library for the Maine State Prison Industries, which I didn't know did this kind of work, but we contacted them. And we had a pretty complete spec. I mean, we were very clear about materials that were gonna go into it, finishes that were gonna go onto it, everything. I can share that if anybody wants it. And they actually came in lower than any of the others. And the online, basically you're gonna get what they have. So we had specified plywood. They were, pushing us with particle board, and some of it I'm not even sure wasn't some sort of plastic veneer, over particle board kind of thing. But we were able, the state will do exactly what we want: height, width, depth, wood that we want, finish that we want, number of layers of covering that we want on it, and can meet our deadlines of mid-February on this. The fact that they were the lowest was a thrill. We may actually be able to do everything for under what we had budgeted for. So we would like to go ahead and let the state know that they have the contract and that they can, start pulling materials. Any questions anybody has?
No, I've gotten some stuff personally, and they do a very good job too, and they're very well built stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
the Somerville Library was just like,
Yep.
they couldn't be happier with what they got.
Nice.
I've seen it in there.
Literally
Looks
could
good.
not be happier, so it was, that was a nice thing to hear. And
Yeah.
the fact that they came in lower
Yes.
This looks like a slam dunk.
Yep.
Have you talked to the builders? I'm just kidding, Mike.
I thought that might come up, and you know what? They gotta focus on that building, period, in the conversation. That's-
No, I mean the builders of the
The bookshelves.
bookshelves.
No, no. They probably are big scale, is my guess.
I make a motion to award the library building project bookcase bid to the Maine State Prison Industries in the amount of $10,500.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to award the library building project bookcase bid to Maine State Prison Industries in the amount of $10,500. Any discussion? All those in favor?
When do you get your dog?
Thank you, Martin.
When do you get your dog?
2 weeks. We're very ready.
Okay,
And thank you for your support. Appreciate it.
Yes.
thanks, Mike.
All right. I guess now just town manager's report.
Okay. So major emphasis from the last 2 weeks, we had our audit 2 weeks ago. We had a nice benefit from the audit that they were done on Tuesday and left. And when they were leaving, they said they'd never finished that early in Tremont. So I think that must be a good sign, but
Yeah.
we'll wait to see what comes back. And having an audit and the special town meeting in the same week is maybe not an experience that we would choose to repeat. But that's how it worked out, and we survived. So special town meeting and preparation and follow-up. I've been working with the sheriffs to have the draft contract on an agenda of an upcoming meeting, possibly next week. We'll see if they get their act together. And then working on the FY21 budget, and I was out on vacation last week. So some minor projects going on. You may recall that well over a year ago, I asked you for authorization for the town to sign on to a class action lawsuit for underpayment of payments in lieu of taxes. We got the whopping check of $188 today from the law firm that negotiated that settlement with the federal government. So that was a nice surprise, a small surprise, but a nice surprise.
Do you know what their fee was?
Yeah, the lawyer's fee was, the overall settlement amount was something in around $17 million. And this is for nationwide cities and towns and counties across the country. And I believe the lawyer's fee was $5.7 million of that.
So that check didn't really hurt how much they sent to us.
No, it didn't. So anyway.
Love those class action fees.
We got a replacement phone for Jimmy. His iPhone had worn out after 2 years of heavy use, so he's got a new one. I've been researching a sidewalk plow, and this had come up at a previous meeting. At this point, I don't think that it would be much of a benefit for us. It would cost us probably about based on the monthly cost estimates that I got from several bidders, it'd be about $4,000 for the whole winter. And we have the walk behind plow that propels itself, and that's much more easy to maneuver around the mailboxes that are there. Realize the mailboxes are a frustrating part of that project, but they're there and we got to deal with them. And talking it over with the public works crew, I think that what we have is good, and if that changes this winter, then we'll revisit this. But for now, I think moving forward with the walk behind is the way to go. I was communicating with the possible buyer of the steel culverts. I worked with the public works crew to plan for the rebar covering at Seal Cove. If you've been up there, it's done.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I
looks
agree.
awesome. Yeah, they did a good job.
Thank you for saying that. I'll be sure to pass that along
Yeah.
to the crew. I think they did a really nice job.
Good.
How many yards it was a lot of yards.
96 yards.
96, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that actually comes in under budget.
Okay.
We had budget.
No, it looks nice.
We had enough money for 125 yards, and
Yep.
so. Let's see. Discussed the rec board with Jessica Bass, the newest member, and they had a meeting last week. So that board is back on track. I reviewed a general assistance application, which has not actually been submitted, but we rarely get those. So Working with the electrician I mentioned this last time on the grant for putting LED lights in this room. The electrician's vendor thinks that we are not eligible. I think we are, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. Have until the end of this week to sort that out, so I'm hoping to get that done quickly. And then working with Greg Johnston on the wharf reconstruction. Office staff has been very busy with the audit and the prep for the special town meeting. Katie's also been preparing for the November election. We have dog tags in, they're now available, so that'll be getting started in the next couple weeks. And then, as I'm sure all of you know, the office lost power, as did everyone else, and internet as a result of the storm last Thursday and Friday, so that they had to close all day on Thursday and half the day on Friday. Katie worked with Jamie to make the call on that while I was away. So thank you for stepping in there. The public works crew has been working on covering that rebar at Seal Cove, a lot of storm cleanup, continuing to get the trucks ready for winter. They've been doing some ditching on Billings Hill on the Cape Road. That's another nice project if you get a chance.
That looks
to swing
good
by.
too.
Okay,
It does look good.
I agree. And they finished the Clark Point Road culvert project.
I could probably use another coat of pavement.
Yeah.
Just to make a note of that. She's dips pretty good. I went through that yesterday.
All right, our harbor master assisted with covering the rebar at Seal Cove. He helps shuttle public works trucks for fall maintenance between Caldwell's and et cetera. He was on hand for the storm, but fortunately there was no major damage out in the harbor, no major boats breaking free. He did replace a mooring. He was working to get that bait boat off the beach. I think we talked about that at a previous meeting. And then helped the public works crew with the culvert replacement on Clark Point. And then some major projects over just the course of the next week, because we do have a meeting scheduled next Monday. I'll be working with the electrician to get the lights in here. I'll be attending a Hancock County Planning Commission meeting tomorrow afternoon. I'll be working on the FY21 budget. I'll be working with the sheriff to get a new contracts drafted. I'll be having a meeting regarding the Hinton Trust. We'll be having our annual snowplow driver beginning of season meeting on Wednesday. And we will be reconfiguring the dumpsters that are out here. They're not in an ideal setup for snow plowing. It's difficult to push the snow off the sidewalk or off the pavement onto the hill. And so I think we're going to reconfigure those just for the winter. And then I'll be meeting with Mike on Thursday for our check-in.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Any news on the bridge paving? Nothing.
It's going. I mean, you mean the final
Well,
coat?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen until next spring.
Okay, not even.
They're gonna put
the
they're gonna put a
messy-
temporary to drop down in.
Yep, they're calling it a ramp.
They usually like
So
put like
they are gonna
they'll
do
put like a
They are going to do
plastic
that.
underneath of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But the final coat.
Right.
The ramp's done?
No.
No, I was just saying that.
And the sidewalk, same thing, spring.
The sidewalk, they're going to put the base layer down before this November,
Yeah.
but they're not going to put the final layer on it. until
And
spring.
that extending it to Flatiron Road.
That I'm still waiting. They didn't have their meeting last week, so I have yet to find out when that's going to be rescheduled. But that's an open question because you're right that sidewalk doesn't go as long as
Yeah.
the plans that I have
Yeah.
show.
Who's taking care of the dam down there?
That was my next question.
That's about level with the road when it
So
rains.
far, the dam is part of the contractor's project and is part of my questions for them for what's happening there before.
That was pretty high
Weren't they
after
gonna
that
do
storm.
all of it
Yes.
in one
You're gonna
shot?
stock it?
We'll put-
I know you probably could.
Put some
The
locks
big
in there.
Question with it is if the sidewalk gets extended all the way to Flatiron, as the plans that I show says it should, then there shouldn't be a dam there.
Right.
And so my assumption is that they will be finishing it out to that point. I just haven't had a
Yep.
chance to catch up with them to ask.
Because you think they'd be getting that healed in either grassed or riprap before it gets much colder.
I agree.
That's
They
messy
probably
in the
got their
winter
hands full
anyways.
down here, and I don't want to take them away,
And are we
Don't slow them
still,
down from
I
that.
don't mind that little.
are we still
John.
on schedule this bridge, 45 or 60 days, whatever?
November 15th is the 60-day mark.
No.
Do they get penalized if they don't have it done by.
They do.
Ooh.
Doesn't come to the town though.
No, no.
I didn't think
That would be
driving
be- that'd be
around
better.
back
Don't
ways
bug
would
about the
bother me as
sidewalks
much
for
as
another
it
couple
does,
weeks,
but
Mike.
After you do it
I'm
four
gonna finish
times,
that
you're like,
one.
oh, man.
I've been really trying
Can't wait
hard
for
to
that to
avoid
get
it.
Right,
I don't mind that
Close
detour.
to Seal Cobra, it's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
worse.
All right,
good, good.
I'm sure.
suggestions for the next meeting? Date of the next meeting, I didn't realize it was next Monday.
Yeah, and the November meeting schedule gets all messed up because of Veterans Day and the election and Thanksgiving. It's just awfully hard to
Oh,
schedule.
yes,
So
okay,
we only have one meeting in November, so in order to make up for that, we have 3 meetings in October.
okay, yeah, I see it.
I make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, October 28th at 5 o'clock right here.
Second,
Been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, October 28th, 2019 at 5 PM at the town office. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Yeah. Okay.
Good meeting. We're having one next week either.
No, I didn't realize it was Monday. I thought it, but that does make sense. 'Cause you've got. What is it?
See you Thursday.
How did-
I think I'm probably gonna miss them.
how much is it?
Drop someone in the airport.
Monday.
A new one, a plastic one?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
$100 $100 for 20 feet.
Good for you.
No, the guy called me. He said,
It's been more like 4 years.